Hey Frankensteins, we're down here in my vast wine cellar, and it's a new series that I'm starting, and it's called Best of the Month. This one I called January. First movie I have to talk about, this is what I got exclusively for the wife. So, a little romantic. It's called Rambo, and it's the brand newest Rambo. And the reason I picked this up is the wife loves a little of the old ultraviolence, so this movie is just so wrong-headed. It's just so violent, it's so bloody, it's just terrifying and fantastic. Next I watched two films. I watched one because it was presented to me, and I watched the other one because it reminded me of the first one. Here Comes the Boom. It's a Kevin James movie, and it's about mixed martial arts and how he's a teacher and they need to raise money for the music program. It's harmless. It's fun. It's kind of funny. Kevin James is sweet. Henry Winkler is fantastic, and Selma Hayek is beautiful as always. And the fight scenes are much better than they really need to be in this. Probably could have used another rewrite. Harmless. You can show this to anyone and they'd have a good time. This reminded me of another film that I'd seen quite a while ago called The Hammer, made by Adam Carolla, who now has a podcast and who is on Love Lines and has done a lot of things, but is usually seen as kind of a loudmouth jerk. Well, this movie takes him and makes him into a really nice guy who's got an edge to him. Kind of a loser, but he was a boxer when he was younger. Now he's 40, and he gets a shot at going to the Olympics. I really like this movie, and the reason I watched this one after Here Comes the Boom is to see, here's really very similar to the same story, but how it's handled by other people, and this is, although I didn't mind the first one, this is a much better film. Then I watched another pair of movies, the Star Trek sequels, Into Darkness and Beyond. Both were good. I'm not a huge Star Trek fan of the new films. I mean, these are fine. I think I like Beyond better. This could be the pilot of a real series as opposed to setting things up. Real cheese ending, but good all around. I enjoyed it. A friend and I have been running through all of the Steven Spielberg films. Maybe a lesser well-known one called Always. It's John Goodman and Holly Hunter and Richard Dreyfuss. Kind of a sweet film about firefighters, but they use airplanes. A real sweet love story. Kind of tugged at the old heartstrings there. So to show what a master Spielberg is, this movie is old. 89, and you could show it now in theaters and maybe clean up some of the special effects, and it's just kind of delightful. And that's on Netflix, by the way. I'm a big fan of documentaries, and watched one recently called The Witness, which was about the Kitty Genovese murder in New York about 50 years ago now. 38 people heard her and saw her being murdered on the street below, outside of an apartment building, and did nothing, didn't call the cops and all that. The documentary is her brother, who was pretty young when she died, going out to find, is this a true story? Who was this woman? You know, what was her life like? Who was her killer? Heartbreaking and eye-opening and everything. And watch this on Netflix. This is one to watch, friendo. On the horror movie front, I enjoy a nice slow burn, a nice tension. And The Invitation fits the bill on that one. It's about a guy and his wife who are invited with many of their friends from before to his ex-wife and her new husband's house. Husband and his ex had lost a child 2 years back. From the very first scene, things are not good. And is this guy being too paranoid, or does he really have a reason to be paranoid? Again, on Netflix, so watch it. After Stranger Things, which I just loved, I thought, what's another series I can watch? The OA. The OA is a Brit Marling vehicle, and it's about a woman who stumbles across a freeway and is brought home, but she's been missing for all these years, and when she left, she was blind, and now she's not. What happened? Real subpar. There are two parts to it. Anything that's happening in present day could have used a big rewrite, and so many eye rolls from this guy. But the flashback stuff was almost uniformly really intriguing. Another series I watched on Netflix was called Crashing, and it's a British show about this group of people that live in an abandoned hospital. It's funny, it's kind of profane, it's a little dirty. The reason I'm bringing this one up is the star of the show and the writer is Phoebe Waller-Bridge. and she is one of my new favorites of anything always all the time. 5 out of 5 amazings for her, because she did another show before this one, I believe, and it's called Fleabag, and that is on Amazon Prime, and oh my, it's my favorite kind of comedy, where it's so uncomfortable to watch. It's just about a terrible woman doing terrible things. Which brings me to another show. Like I said, I like uncomfortable things, so I like kind of that fly on the wall, too. So, I mean, The British Office, obviously. But there's another one called Peep Show. I might do a whole 20 minutes on that show, because it is just so uncomfortable and just my favorite show. So I'm recommending 3 TV shows. One I just watched, which is Crashing. The other one is one I watched previously, Fleabag, and Peep Show, which, again, see if you can find it. But if you love uncomfortableness in your comedy, these are great. I'm a big fan of the board games. Yeah, cardboard games. And I've played a couple recently, but I've been sick and I haven't been going out and snow in Minnesota. So one I did play recently at a gathering of friends called Brew Crafters. And this is kind of a medium-heavy Euro-style worker placement game. Solid, fun, timed nicely, so it could have gone on a lot longer, but it being our first game, we had rule explanation and all, in maybe under 2 hours. So I would play this one again. I enjoyed it. So that's this month. That's January. What does February hold? If it stays cold and stupid like it has been, I might watch more stuff or play more games. Hey, if you want me to expand on any of these, let me know in the comments. Until then, I'm Uncle Tony. Hey, enjoy!
Hey, did you like that? Well then, why not subscribe and watch my other videos and even leave a comment? And while you're doing that, watch a set of twins staring mysteriously into a mirror. Peculiar.